सब पर ईश्वर तेरी दया हो, सब पर ईश्वर सबका भला तो करना परवर। रूप रंग को तू ना माने, रूप रंग को तू ना माने, एक बराबर सबको जाने। तेरे जैसा कोई न दाता, तेरे जैसा कोई न दाता, जग का तू ही भाग्य विधाता, जग का तू ही भाग्य विधाता। तू एक धागा हम हैं मोती, तू एक धागा हम हैं मोती। हर दीपक में तेरी ज्योति, हर दीपक में तेरी ज्योति।
Namaste everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the second practical session. And after listening to this wonderful bhajan which talks about all is in divine and divine is in all, I think it's a good start to get back to connecting to our body and let Monica Di guide us to this journey. Over to you, Monica Di. You just have to unmute yourself.
Unmute.
Yes, it's okay now.
So good morning, namaste, and welcome to all of you. I'm Monica and this is Pratosh. So last class we had worked on modifications, on simple modifications of how we can vary different postures. And there can be many reasons why you vary or modify postures. One simple reason can be the inability to do a posture fully. So somebody is not flexible enough, somebody is not fit enough. So you modify the posture. The aim in any modification is mainly that the function of the posture should be maintained. The form can be varied. So we always have to keep that in mind because every posture has got a form and function. So we want to keep that in mind, that the function of the posture should be maintained while you can vary the form. And that's the premise we do. So today also we will work on simple modifications. We will do a few standing postures and then we'll focus mainly will be today on lying on your back, supine postures. So let's start with a little bit of warm up because we are trying to do two things. One, we are trying to do a full class also. At the same time, we're also trying to learn as we go along how we are modifying some of the common postures. Okay, so let's start with the wrist. Last time we had done wrist rotations. Today we'll do a different. So another way that you can work on the wrist is take one hand, this hand, and pull nicely at below. Stay here for a few breaths. Keep the thumb open and release. And then do it again. And release. And now we can do the upwards. So take the other hand and pull the fingers backwards so that you really stretch the muscles of the forearms because the wrist is a joint and all the muscles around it are responsible for its strength as well as its mobility. And release one more time. Let's repeat on this hand. So take it first below So open the forearm. So here we are working on these. At the same time, the wrist. So when you use one hand, you are giving it that little extra push. So you are bringing in a greater amount of flexibility into the joint. But remember not to hurt yourself. And now, one more time. Nice. Let's do one more. Let's keep our hands like this. So your fingers are here. And let's turn the palms upwards. So bringing the little fingers together, the pinkies together, and then bring the arm in and bring the thumbs together. Okay, so again, inwards and bring the little fingers together, inwards and bring the thumbs together. One more time. You can do this on inhale. And we're doing this on exhale. So we are always going to try to coordinate the breath and movement. Those of you who are comfortable doing Ujjay can also do Ujjay breathing while we are doing all the postures. It just makes the breath slower, longer, and brings it under your control. Those of you who are not familiar with Ujjay, we'll be doing it at the end of class. We'll go through it again. But remember, even if you're not doing Ujjay, your breathing pattern should be coordinated with all your movements at any given point during the class. Next, let's do the neck. So let's use again a little bit more. So let's do it towards the left first. Use the hand to pull your neck. Very good. Give it a little bit of stretch. Stay here for a few breaths. See how it feels. Relax. Take a few deep breaths here. Release the neck and go to the other side. Using the hand to give it a little extra. Any morning practice, we have to specially take care that we warm up the neck, shoulders, because we have slept through the night, and when we wake up, the body is a little bit stiff. So we do not want to injure the neck and shoulders. Especially, we don't want to injure any part of ourselves, but especially the neck and shoulders, because they are very prone to injury. We don't want to do that. Of course, even the lower back. Okay, now today we'll do the neck rotations. Anybody who has got a cervical issue should actually avoid a full neck rotation. You can, at best, cervical, you do not generally do a forward and back movement. So keep that in mind. If not, if you're healthy and normal neck, we'll do a full rotation. You can start with inhale, exhale. Start the movement from your chin. So you start stretching your double chin in a way. So inhale, take half a rotation. Exhale, complete the rotation. Let's do this 3 times. Slow. All movements, the slower they are, the more conscious they are, the better they will be, and the better results you will get. And also the body will become more conscious. So when you've done 3 times, we'll repeat. So go full range of motion and go a little bit more than the full range of motion. Opposite side. Inhale half, exhale complete. Slower and go to your full range of motion. Range of motion means if this is how much you can bend, try and go a little bit more. That's how you will build flexibility over a period of time. When you will go one step, one step, one step. After 3 times, you can release, and we'll do shoulder shrugs. So today we'll do shoulder shrugs. So let's go inhale up, pull the shoulders up and hold for a bit. You can continue breathing. And exhale, release and pull it down, pull the shoulders down. So use the muscles on the side here to pull the muscles, shoulders down and hold again. Again, inhale up. As high as you can take it, hold. Exhale down and pull down and stay. Inhale up. Exhale down. Okay. And we'll do one more, just working on the triceps. So we'll stretch the triceps, take the arm up, and use the other hand to pull from here. So stretch back. So we're working on stretching this part of the arm. There is a nice stretch. Your hand can be behind on your upper back, your palm, and the side. Okay. Next, we will do. So I'll just give you space. So Pratosh, we will raise our arms to the side. So you can sit where you're sitting. I'm just giving you space. Inhale, raise your arms to the side, both arms. Elbow straight. So stretching up. This is just a side stretch we are doing. Exhale without lifting both your sitting bones off the floor. Just stretch to the side and try and bring your elbow to the floor without lifting the opposite hip. If you can, very good. Reach out, stay here and breathe. Take 2 or 3 breaths. Keep both your sitting bones firmly on the floor. Open the chest, open the side. Even in asana, we are also creating locks in a way. We create locks so that the prana can flow into different parts of the body. So stay, inhale, come in to the center and exhale to the other side. Very nice. Without lifting the sitting bones, really give yourself a nice stretch. Take the arm overhead. And here you can look down, look forward, or look up also. So if you are relaxing the neck, look down. If you are comfortable, you don't want to work on the neck, look forward. And if you want to work on the neck muscles, look up. Yes. Very nice. Inhale, come into the center. Exhale. Drop your arms. And let's do our fitness test. See if we can get up from the floor without using our hands. And in a count of 3, 1, 2, and 3. Very nice. Okay, so we'll take a few breaths here. Now that we are going to do a few standing postures, we want to have that connection with the floor very well established. It should be a conscious contact. Conscious contact means at any given point, you are aware of how your foot is placing on the floor, which parts of the feet are in contact, and you are, in a way, establishing a relationship of your foot with the floor. Let this be a very nice, healthy, happy, firm relationship. So let's take 2 or 3 breaths standing in this position. We'll pull our kneecaps up. We'll tuck our abdomen in. The hip is pulled up. Shoulders are rolled back. Chin is slightly tucked in. Arms are by your side. This position is called Samasthiti. Means it is a balanced position where both parts of the body are balanced and you are feeling very stable and firm. This becomes our starting point for standing posture. Okay. And let us do from here today, we'll do 1 or 2 variations of the Brikshasan, which is also in some places called the Bhagirathasana. So those of you who need a balance can have a wall near you. We can have one hand on the wall and we can have this foot. Okay. So let's do the Brikshasan. In this, what we have to keep in mind is the heel goes right into the joint here. This is the classical posture. We'll do variations of it. So we'll start with the foot being at the knee. So go ahead. So this is for those who cannot bring the leg up all the way. And for those of you who are not balanced, we can have a wall next to you like this so that you don't distort the position. So we hold the wall like this and we'll stay here for 2 to 3 breaths. Even while you're staying, try to push the knee back. The knee should be in line with your thigh. Okay? So 2 breaths here with the leg at the knee. And when we are done, 2 breaths, let's change sides. Yes, and you can actually, Pratosh, you can use the wall. So actually turn sideways. Yes. So try to open the knee as we stay, 2 to 3 breaths so that your hip is straight and don't turn the hip, but keep it straight. Very nice. Next, in the same position, we will try doing, you can use a wall in this because you will not be able to do it without the wall, even both hands on the wall. And we'll raise the heel in this. Pushing the wall with both your hands, raise the heel up and exhale, come down. So we are doing in a way, improvising and modifying and doing in a way a little bit of the ankle work or Tadasana along with the Brikshasan. Change sides. So use the wall for support, for balance. And it works differently on the ankle. Because of one foot being on this foot, the ankle works more. So you can say this is a modification in which you are working more on the ankle. One more time. Very nice. Now you can turn again and let's do the full Brikshasan. So take your foot and place the heel on the inside along the thigh. And you can start with maybe arms open to the side. So that you get better balance. Yes. Same as you stay in the posture, the weight of the foot which is on the floor, that should be in the center of the foot. Try not, the body will try to cheat and get the weight on the outside of the foot. You want to align and bring the weight to the center of the foot. At the same time, you want to open the knee and not turn the hip. So you can start with the arm position like this. When you're feeling a bit more balanced, then you can bring your arms up, place your palms together. You don't have to interlock your fingers, just place your palms together. Yes. Again, stay for two breaths. And slowly drop the foot down. So if balance is an issue, remember you can always begin with a wall support. As you get better with balance, and also balance is not just about that, it is also about the ability of the muscles to hold. Then you can change sides. So we'll start with the arms open to the side. Let's stay here for 1 breath. Open the knee to the side. Yes. When you're comfortable, take the arms up. Bring your palms together. Stay for 2 breaths. As you stay, if you're feeling still imbalanced and you're not using a wall, then you can choose a point on the floor and try and balance on it. If not, and try and look at it, or you can even focus on your breath. Very nice. When you're done, you can release. Okay, and let's move on to lying on your back. So again, if you have a roll towel, today we will only be using a roll towel if we use. We can have it next to you so that you have it handy when we need it. Those of you who do need neck support can keep a small pillow under their neck, or even the towel can do. It can come even under the neck, the arch of the neck. So today we'll start with the Setu Bandhasana, or it is also called in some places Dvipada, which is basically translated as a two-legged stool. So we'll do few variations of it. We'll start with bend both your knees. So in this, remember, in all lying down positions, the neck is the chin is slightly tucked in. Not too much, but there will be a slight tuck, and that is the position that we will take of the neck. If you do not have a cervical problem, this is what you're going to be using. Okay, we'll start with, let's have one foot slightly ahead of the other. So let's start with the right foot slightly ahead. You will keep hip distance between your legs. Hip distance is about this much. So this much distance will be there between your feet. You will have the right foot one step ahead of the left foot. Both feet will be firmly placed on the floor. Again, a very conscious contact, a very good relationship. Our feet are like suction. Arch of the foot is like a suction device. So if you place it well, your foot should not be wobbly. Okay. All right. Arms to the side. Yeah, not open, but just slightly open. All right. On the inhale, we lift torso off, the spine off the floor, come up. Feet firmly on the floor at this point. Very nice. Stay here for a breath. In this modification, we usually would use when you want to work on one knee more than the other, or if someone has got one knee which is weak, or you have an injury, or some kind of a pain and discomfort. So in this, when you take the foot away, it works less on the knee joint. If you bring the knee in, it works more on the knee joint. So we'll work on exhale, come down. Let's do this one more time. Inhale, coordinate the movement with your breath. Exhale, coming down slowly. Very nice. Remember to have your feet firmly on the floor. Have that image of the suction that you have with the floor so your foot doesn't move. Very good. Let's change legs. So it's just one step ahead. There is a hip distance between your feet. Inhale, come up. Stay here for a breath. This is a back arch. We're also working on the lower back muscles. Exhale, come down slowly. And we'll do it one more time. So inhale. Exhale, come down slowly. Okay, next, let's have both the feet together, but not together, meaning hip distance apart, a little wider than your hip. Okay, and Pratosh, I suggest you move down a little. I'll need arm distance behind you. So you're still visible, yes. So a little more than hip distance. Feet again firmly on the floor. And this time we'll use the arms also. Inhale, raise your arms, take them overhead while you are lifting the torso. All the movements together. Inhale. Very nice. Now keep the knees are always aligned. Your knee should always be aligned with your second toe. Exhale, come down. So with a wider angle, again, the angle of the hip changes, the angle and the work of the knee changes. One more time. And the work on the lower back also changes. Exhale. And we are also building up towards going into the final Setu Bandhasana, which can be quite intense on the lower back. All right. So this with the knees, and now we'll do one more variation, which will be working on opening the hip. So let's have the right ankle over the left knee. Yeah. In this, you can have your arms by your side, which is fine. That's it. So just open slightly. You can adjust your feet, see what helps you in terms of weight. Now, keeping the ankle here, we lift the torso off. So in this, and then try to open the knee down. Yes. So in this, we are actually working on the opening of the hip of this joint here. As you go into this, exhale, come down. This also can be quite intense on the lower back, but works on one side at a time and works on opening the hip. Again, inhale, coming up. Remember the suction of your foot. Remember the coordination of your breath and movement. Exhale, coming down. And let's switch legs. Inhale, lifting up as high as you can. Try to drop this knee down so you work on that joint, but don't distort the lower back though. Very nice. Exhale, coming down. As you come down, you can relax the knee. The knee can kind of come in inwards. As you lift up, you open the knee down. Very nice. Exhale, come down slowly and release. Now let's go to keeping both your feet together and knees together. So this is actually the classical final posture for Setu Bandh would be, in which you keep your knees together and you keep your feet together. This is both intense on the knees as well as the lower back. So, and if we will also go and see if we can hold the ankles. So inhale, go as high as you can. Very nice. Very nice. Hold the position for one breath. Make sure you do not have too much discomfort in your knee. A little bit is acceptable, but it should not be pain in which you enjoy yourself. Exhale, come down. We'll do this one more time, but this time I want you to move your feet inwards a little. Yes. Inhale. So this is more intense on the knee because you can see the knee is now beginning to go a little bit forward than the toes. And whenever that happens, the work is a lot more intense on the knee. Okay, this time, if you can, Pratosh, hold your ankles with your hands, your ankles. Yes. And now go up. Go as high as you can. Very nice. Very nice. And exhale, slowly come. Release. You can straighten your legs if the knees are feeling a bit strained and take a few breaths rest. Just observe. Whenever we work on one part of the body, always observe which part of the body is giving you what kind of a feeling, what kind of a sensation. Check at every stage how you are feeling with each posture at the level of the mind, emotions, body, and your inner sense. So take a few breaths and then we will move on to another. Okay, let's move on to again a very common posture, commonly used along with the Setu Bandh, the Panasana, or it's also called the Pavan Mukta. So let's look at, we'll do one. I'll start with the simpler variations and then we'll move on to the final posture. So let's start with, we'll bend one knee. Let's bend the left knee. Okay, we keep it like this. Keep it slightly away. Yes. Now bend the right knee and bring it close to your, so lift the foot off. Yeah, lift the foot off and keep it in this position. This is your starting. Okay. Now hold the right knee with both your hands. So we'll start with, we will not straighten this knee first. We will start with the knee. This is also for those people who have a very stiff neck, because the moment you will straighten this leg, what will happen is the neck will tend to do that. So one is that, and two, to give a flatness to the lower back. Someone has an injury or is just recovering from an injury and you want to give them the sense of lower back arch flattening. This bending of the knee will assist in giving you the flatness of the lower back. So we'll stay here for a few breaths, stretching. And release. Now the left leg. So bend the knee, hold. Throughout, ideally, we have our chin tucked in. That position stays. There is a slight stretch at the back when you tuck the chin in. Take a few breaths here. You can close your eyes if you feel like it just while you're doing the posture and then open later. Okay, release. Now we'll go to the one-legged. So you take the right leg again, hold it in, and you can now slowly slide this leg out and stretch. And also experience for yourself the difference, what happens to your body vis-a-vis the lower back as well as the posture when you straighten this leg and when you had bent it. Keep the legs stretched and Try and get the knees straight. And now we can try lifting the chin up to the knee. Stay for a few breaths, 2 breaths. First, bring the head down. Release the hands and straighten this leg. Now you can repeat on the left leg. So with the leg straight. No, first stay in that, and then we will take 2 breaths first without the neck, Pratosh. First stay without the neck, then come up and stay for 2 breaths. Now you can lift the chin up. Breathe deeply and release. Bring the head down first. Release the hands. Release the leg. And now we'll repeat with both legs. So let's have both your knees in. Hold it in. Lifting the feet off. Very nice. First, in this, we can also stay without holding the knees. This is fine. So try and see if you can do without hold the hands, if you can pull the knees in by the muscles around. So use the abdominal muscles, use the pelvic muscles to bring the knee in without using the hands. First, stay for 2 or 3 breaths, as much as you can bring in without using the hands. Then we will use the hands to hug the knees. And pulling in as much as is possible for yourself. Chin is slightly tucked in. Stay here for 2 to 3 breaths. Posture itself will indicate to you, the form of the posture will also indicate to you the function. That in this, essentially, it's an eliminating posture, which is based on the exhale, because the energy is also downwards. The flow of the energy is downwards. That is why it is also often called Apanasana, which means that the Apana, which is the downward flow of the prana, that is what we are focusing on here. Okay, now you can lift the chin up. So essentially, you're eliminating. This is, again, you will also find that this is exhale-based posture, which means it is far easier to exhale in this and longer exhales. Very good. Release the neck. Release the hands. And straighten both your legs. You can rest for 2 or 3 breaths. Again, observing yourself. How do you feel? How does this area of the body feel, which is what the Apana is, the lower movement is what we have worked on here. When your breath feels comfortable, now we'll do a posture which is called Supta Ekapad Angushtasana. And we will do first the variations of it, and then we will do the final posture. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start again with, you can bend the left leg, keep the knee bent. Now, inhale, you raise both your arms overhead. There are many ways. This is just a sequence that we are developing to get into the posture. You can have many ways of getting into the posture. Exhale, you lift the right leg up, bring both your arms down. And if you can, hold the leg with both arms. Okay. So you do not want to lift your sacrum off, Pratosh. Sacrum is this bony part of the back. You do not want to lift that. So in this, we are doing a variation in which one, we have bent the knee. The knee is not straight. Other leg. The other thing, we are holding it right at the thigh. We are not holding it here. As the name suggests, Angushta means we will actually be holding, holding on to the toe. So for those of you who have very stiff hamstring or mobility is less in this movement, we can work with these variations. Again, remember, chin is tucked in. If it's difficult to even do that, then have a pillow under your neck. So you don't want your neck to be in this position as you move. Because the moment somebody has a stiff hamstring, what it does is it will pull. It will pull the muscle at the back of the neck and the neck will go into this kind of a movement. So to avoid that, we can keep a cushion or a roll towel and we are bending the knee. Okay, so we release. Now repeat on the other side. So release this leg. You can now keep this knee bent. Bend the right knee. Yeah, and straighten this leg. Inhale, take the arms overhead. Exhale, lift the leg and bring both arms down. So ideally, you should have your knees straight in this. Okay, if not, that's fine too. Stay for 2 breaths, stretching the muscle at the back, keep the toes flexed. Lower back, the sacrum is on the floor, so don't lift the sacrum off. If you lift the sacrum off, basically you miss the stretch at the back of the legs. You want to isolate. A large part of asana practice is about isolating and directing prana and energy into various parts. So if you don't isolate and you do not block, in a way, lock certain muscles, you will miss the work that needs to be done, the function of the posture. Okay, after 2 or 3 breaths, you can release the leg down and now again we'll do on the right side. So straighten this leg, right leg, and inhale, take arms overhead. Exhale, lift the leg up. Now, if you can, hold the ankle. Both hands hold the ankles. Again, ideally, we do not want to lift the sacrum off. Okay, so yeah, so we don't want to lift the sacrum off, which means that again, if we are in this position where we are not able to hold the ankles, then hold wherever you can. These variations are precisely for this reason, if your inability to do, but you should still benefit from doing the posture. So, which is fine. Now, final posture, which will be, is going to be, we'll do it first with the knee bent. So if we're doing it with the right, this knee is bent, chin is tucked in, and we want to hold the toe with the big toe with the right hand. Stay for 2 to 3 breaths, maximizing the stretch at the back of the leg. Release. Change sides. Left leg. Inhale, stay. Exhale, we lift the leg up. Hold the toe with stay for 2 or 3 breaths. See where all you feel resistance in the body. Which parts of the body are resisting this? Chin is tucked in. And keep stretching this leg. And release. And now let's try and do what is the final Supta Ekapadangushtasana. So inhale, take your arms overhead. Exhale, lift the right leg up. The left leg is straight and now hold. So this is the final posture. Chin is still tucked in. Ideally, the leg is absolutely straight, the knee is straight. This is for those who have very good flexibility on the back of your legs, which is the hamstring. So this is something you can build in steps as we have done. And release, arms go overhead. Exhale, arms come down and hold the left. Chin is tucked in. Stay for 2 or 3 breaths. Inhale, arms go back. Exhale, bring your arms down. You can bend the knees slightly if the lower back feels stretched. Take a few breaths, rest. That's okay. Again, observing yourself. Hamstring is one of the large muscles of the body, so it's very helpful to keep it open and to keep it stretched. It avoids injuries of the lower back when you have a very stretched muscle. A lot of sports people, because they are constantly in one motion of running, can develop shortness of the hamstring. So it helps to keep this muscle very stretched. And this posture is very helpful because it isolates that. At the same time, it gives support to the lower back because you're in a supine position. Okay, we will do now. We did Ekpadangushtasana. Now we will do both legs. So in this, it's easy to, in a way, miss the work because it's easy to lift the sacrum in this. But so, Pratosh, you can also try. Inhale, raise your arms overhead. Exhale, lift both your legs up and hold both the toes with both your hands. So in this, very often you might actually lift your sacrum and not realize it. So you want to make sure that you're not lifting the sacrum off. This is a, yeah. So you can do what Pratosh is also doing, which is modified posture. As long as your knees are straight, you can hold even below. You can even hold at the thighs. So remember not to lift the sacrum off. Have the knees straight. You can have both your legs even at an angle. Stay for 2 or 3 breaths. And you can slowly bend your knees, hug your knees, stay for 2 or 3 breaths. Just release your back. Okay. And release, we'll do. So Pratosh, maybe we can move the mat a little bit to the front so that we can have you a little bit of arm distance. So if you all are close to the wall, just move slightly away. So we have arms on the sides. We want to open the arms. Okay. All right. We will do. Next is what is called Jatara Parivritti or a spinal twist. The Jatara is the fire which is supposed to be the digestive fire which is in your belly. So uh, bend both your knees. There are many modifications and variations in this. We'll do few which you can very easily apply. So let's start with, let's have your feet wide, wider than the hip. Very nice. Arms open to the side and palms facing down. You can have the arms slightly lower than the shoulders. So they don't have to be straight, they can be slightly lower. So slightly lower, Pratosh. And have the palms facing down. So you want to have the palms down to again have a nice contact with the floor in a different position. At the same time, we will be using the palms to push the floor when we need. On the exhale, we will bend both the knees to the right and head to the left. If your neck is flexible enough, we would like to have the ear touching the floor. If not, as far as you can go a little bit more than your comfort level so that you are able to bring in flexibility also of the neck. This is a full twist. Inhale, come into the center. Exhale to the other side. Stay for 2 or 3 breaths. The thing to remember in this is, do not lift the opposite side. So if you are twisting to the left, the right shoulder blade, should be pinned to the floor. So you will press the shoulder and the shoulder blade, not just the shoulder here, but the shoulder blade here to the floor and twist. Okay, come into the center. We can have our feet together. Very nice. Same thing. Twist to the right, head to the left. So in this case, it will be the left shoulder blade. You don't want the shoulder blade lifting off as you are twisting to the opposite side. To maximize the stretch. Inhale, come into the center. Exhale to the other side. Stay for a few breaths. Inhale, come into the center. Okay, now we'll take the right ankle over the left knee. Yeah, replace it like like this. Yeah, this is fine. Inhale, stay here. Exhale to the side, to your right side only. Head to the opposite side. The principle stays the same. It's like a twist in the body. So your neck will always go to the opposite side unless you have a neck problem and you want to keep the neck centered. Stay here for a few breaths. This is a different variation. It will give you a different stretch at the lower back and a different position of the knee. Inhale, come into the center and change legs. Inhale, stay. Exhale to the opposite, to left side. Stay for 3 to 4 breaths, or maybe even 2 breaths, because we still have a few more variations to do. Come into the center. And now we'll do one in which the contraction in the abdomen will become even more intense. So lift both your knees off. And so come into like an Apanasana position or hugging the knees position. Yes. Keep the knees as close to your chest as possible without using your hands. So now keeping the knees as close to your chest as possible, you drop the knees to the right. We'll go off the floor. We will not go to the floor fully. And resist the urge for the knees to go away from the chest. So you want to keep the knees close to your chest as much as possible because we want to contract the abdomen more. The more you do, the more you work on the deeper layer muscles and also the deeper layer impurities to ignite the fire. Inhale, come into the center. Exhale, keeping the knees close to your chest. Go to the other side. Head to the opposite. And continue. We'll not go to the floor. So we will not completely touch the floor, but we'll keep the knees off. So that keeps your muscles active. The moment you drop the knees down, the muscles will release. Very nice. Come into the center. We'll do it one more time. Exhale, keeping the knees close to your chest. Head to the opposite side. Try not to peel off your shoulder blade, Pratosh. Opposite. So press the shoulder blade down. These are conscious movements you are doing. You are consciously pressing the shoulder blade down. The whole idea of doing a good asana practice is to bring in awareness and consciousness where there is not or where there is less. So inhale, come into the center and exhale to the other side. Again, press the shoulder blade down as you twist so that you can maximize the stretch, maximize the twist, and get maximum benefit of the posture. Coordinating the breath and movement. Come into the center. You can have your both feet on the floor. Now we will do one which is a little bit more intense. So we have done Supta Ek Padangushtasana. So now I want you to straighten your right leg upwards. Yes. This knee can be bent. Just bring the foot slightly forward towards me. Very nice. If you can, Pratosh, hold take your left hand, hold wherever you can hold the right. Yeah, if you can hold here, that's fine too. Now take this leg to the left side, to the floor. And this foot will just bend along with it. Now, if you can, hold your ankle, if you can, from there, or wherever. And the head goes to the opposite side. Very nice. Bring it to the floor if you can, the leg. Yes. Again, we will not peel the opposite shoulder blade off. Lift the leg higher. Very nice. Use the hand. So we'll stay here for 2 to 3 breaths because I want you to feel the intense contraction in the abdomen when we are going into a full intense stretch. So keep pulling the leg upwards. Ideally, the leg comes in line with your arms, your shoulder. And keep breathing, keep pressing the opposite shoulder blade down as you move deeper into the posture. Stay for 2 to 3 breaths. Release the leg. Very good. Bend the knee. Drop the arm down, and we'll repeat on the other side. So first straighten the leg upwards on the exhale. Inhale, you'll stay here. You'll use the right arm. Exhale to the, yes. And then later on, you can shift the arm, bring it higher. Yeah. If you can hold the ankle or the calves is fine too, but keep working, keep pressing your shoulder blade down. You want to press your opposite shoulder blade down so that you are not peeling it off and your neck is to the opposite side. As you can see, it's a full twist of the spine. You can see a full right from the ankle up to his shoulder blades. It's a full stretch. Release the leg. And bring it down in the center and rest. You can keep your knees bent if you like, or straighten them. Or if you feel like hugging your knees, that is also fine. So we'll take 2 or 3 breaths. Again, observing yourself. Okay, observing your breath. When the breath becomes stable, then we will come into the cat position. So come into your palms and knees on the floor. So turn to the side slowly. And yeah, you can have your head that side also fine if you like, whichever side. We have our palms. Yeah, and knees on the floor. So remember we want the alignment. So your shoulder and your wrist alignment, it's one straight line. So thoda sa aage. And your hip and your knee alignment. So this is how it is. Keep your fingers open and put even distribution of the weight on the palm. So it shouldn't be that it's more on the outside or inside. We want that very conscious. Again, whenever we have a contact with the floor, we want it to be very conscious. We again have suction in the palm. So we'll use that as a way to maximize a good contact with the floor. Okay, so once you have established your alignment, we'll stay here, and on the inhale, we'll do one variation first. We've done this last time. Inhale, you lift the right leg up. straight up. So Pratosh, yeah, come slightly forward. We need a little bit more space. Now I want you to come, just move. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we are inhale, lift the right leg up. Keep the other foot flat. Yes. Stay here for a breath. Feel the slight arch in the lower back. Weight evenly distributed on the palm. Exhale, bringing the knee down. Go into Shashankasana or Child's Pose. And relax your shoulders, relax your elbows, relax your palms, your neck. Inhale, placing the weight again on your palms. You will come up, lift the left leg. Arching the back, look forward. Very nice. Exhale, tucking the chin in, bringing the knee down, rounding the back and going into child's. Take 2 breaths here. We'll do this one more time, raising one leg. So inhale, weight on the palms, lifting the right leg, looking forward. On the exhale, rounding the back, bringing the knee in, tucking the chin in, go into child's pose or Shashankasana. Take a breath here. Inhale, place weight on your palms, press the palms down, lift the opposite leg up. Inhale, arching back. Exhale, tucking the chin in, rounding the back, bringing the knee in and coming down. This time we'll not lift one leg up. We'll just do the inhale coming up into cat or Chakravakasana, slightly arching the back, looking forward. You can have the knees slightly apart. Yes. Exhale, rounding the back and going back into again Shashankasana, stretching back. Relax, drop your head down. One more time. Inhale. Arching back. Exhale and go into child's pose or Shashankasana. And completely relax. Take a few breaths. Rest here completely. You can keep your neck on one side if you like. You can keep your arms by your side if you like. Okay. And slowly sitting up. We'll move the mat slightly forward for the pranayama. Okay, so let's sit for some. Okay, so last time we did Ujjay breathing. We can repeat the Ujjay breathing and I will demonstrate to you again for those of you who haven't done it before to how we will do this. So in Ujjay, in normal breathing, when we inhale or exhale, we are inhaling or exhaling from the nostril, which is like. There is no real control that you have over this breath. At best, you can extend it a little bit and you can hold the breath and then you exhale. So inhale and exhale in this. That's it. In Ujjayi, we are using a control mechanism at the throat. So the inhale, exhale is still happening from the nostrils. The air is still going into your lungs, but we are doing a control of the breath at the throat. It is like this is inhale. Now I want to exhale. The first thing we notice that one, we are able to control the breath. That in itself makes it pranayama. Because pranayama literally means elongating the prana, elongating the breath. So it is bringing an unconscious part of ourselves. Breath is unconscious to us mostly. We are not conscious of it. It happens on its own. It is not that if I don't consciously breathe, I will not breathe. No, the breath is coming and going on its own. So now what I'm doing is that part of me which is not conscious, I'm bringing into awareness. So Ujjay one typically is helping you with that. So let's try if you're struggling with the sound, it is similar to this sound, like when we have a deep sigh, when we say, it's the same thing that we are doing, but with the mouth closed. If you have the hissing sound, that will tell you that you are doing Ujjayi. Number two, you yourself will see that your breath, you can make it much longer. If I am to inhale with my nostril, I'll just go in 3, I'm done with my inhale. And now exhale at best. In 4, I'm done. I cannot do much. I can only hold my breath. Now, when I do Ujjayi, if you will see the count, I will go. Exhaling. So I have actually gone almost 3 times my normal breathing when I'm doing Ujjayi breathing. Of course, we build capacity in this also. You can start with small and we build it longer and longer. So knowing this about Ujjayi, know that there is a pinching mechanism at the throat that we are using. Number two, there will be a soft hissing sound at the throat that will indicate to you that you are doing Ujjayi breathing. Number three, you will be able to control the breath, meaning you will be able to make it longer and shorter. That, of course, will also come with practice. So let us do 5 breaths of Ujjayi. I'm going to give you a count of inhale will be 4 count. You can count like 100, 200, 300, 400. Exhale will be 6, which is 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. We'll count this mentally for your own self. Let us do 5 counts for this, 5 breaths for this. Eyes closed. Be prepared for the pinching at the back of the throat and the soft hissing sound. Start with the inhale. Inhale in a count of 4. Exhale in a count of 6. 5 breaths in total. Keep a count. When you're done, you can open your eyes. When you're done 5 breaths, you can open your eyes. And this time I want you to do 2 breaths only with an inhale of 5 and an exhale of 7. Okay, so 2 breaths, inhaling in 5. The length of the inhale will be 5 counts at the beat of 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and exhale will be 7. When you're done with 2 breaths, let's do another 2 breaths. And this time we will try and do an inhale of 6 and an exhale of 8. Again, the count will be the same, 100, 200, 300. Let's start. Very nice. Now let's do another 2 breaths of going backwards to inhale of 5, exhale of 7. Very nice. So if you go step by step in Ujjay breathing, it is very possible to slow and steadily increase the length of the breath and then come back. So with practice, slowly the length of the breath will increase and you will be able to feel the difference. The moment the breath is longer, it is calmer. It also affects the state of mind. You're also mentally, you feel calmer and at peace. So a longer breath is always more beneficial than a shorter breath. Okay, next, let us try today. We'll do Chandra Bhed, which is it's still warm. As winters will proceed, we can do Surya Bhed, which will create heat in the body. So let us use both fingers at the base of the thumb and thumb and so ring finger and small finger together. This is the Mrigi Mudra. And we use this. This is the right distance for the to hold the nose. So holding the nose, hold the nose, nostril, wherever the bone ends and the cartilage begins. So that's where we'll hold. Remember to be watchful of your shoulder. You don't want to stress the shoulder. So you might have to find your own position of what suits you. You want to keep it like this or like this so that you don't, yeah. So inhale, we'll inhale from the left. And we'll try new. When we inhale also, we will not keep that nostril fully open. We will use the thumb, where is your right, left? Your ring finger, slightly close the left, which means left, right to pura band hai, but left ko bhi we are going to use little bit of obstruction. So we are not going to give it full freedom. Unless you have a blocked nose, this is okay to do. So if you have a blocked nose, you will obviously already block, so you don't need to block it further. Okay, so inhaling from the left, inhale. Now close the left and exhale from the right. Again, in exhale also, we will not fully open the left. We'll keep it half open. Okay. Again, inhaling from the left, exhaling from the right. Inhaling left, exhaling right. Let's do 5 more. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your count. You can use the other hand to keep a count if that helps. And let's do 5 deep breaths. Long inhales, slow exhales. Okay, when you're done, you can release the hand. Just stay here for 2 or 3 breaths. Okay, on, you can lie down on your back. Ready for Shavasana. So take a comfortable position. You can have even one knee bent if that helps. You can have one hand on your belly. You can have a rolled towel under your knees if that helps your lower back. Arms open, feet relaxed. Don't hold any part of the body stiff. You can keep the chin in whatever comfortable position you like. Beginning with just taking a few conscious breaths. Inhale, the belly goes up. Exhale, the belly goes in. We are consciously breathing right now. We'll do a mental mapping of the body from within. Just map yourself, starting from the toes. 1 inch at a time, one little part of the body at a time. We will just observe and see, traveling upwards to the ankles. You are in a way just looking and seeing if you're feeling okay, any part of the body holding strain, stress, stretch, overstretched, or any strain, just making a mental note of that. Moving to the calves, the knees, the thighs, the hips, the pelvis, the lower abdomen, middle abdomen, rib cage, chest, shoulders, chin, head, forearms, fingers, and now just observe the whole body as a whole and see if you're feeling, how you're feeling. Feel the weight of the body on the floor. Make a note of the points that are touching the floor, the hollows in the body. Feel the stability of the earth. And now we'll drop conscious breathing and we will actually become observers of our breath. We can observe the breath coming in and out at the belly, how the how the belly is moving up and down, and you are playing no role in this. How just observing how the breath is coming in and out, observing how you're feeling, not participating, not doing anything. Feeling a sense of gratitude for just this state of being. Connect to the peace the silence. Okay, slowly you can move your fingers. Move your toes. You can move your head slightly. Keep that sense of peace and slowly turn to one side and sit up. Okay, we'll do a closing prayer. Om Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhavi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Arms. Namaste. And thank you. What you, Aditi? So I think we can mute.
There are no questions in the chat box yet. So in case somebody wants to ask, they can unmute and ask me directly.
Ma'am, when we are doing Chandra Vedi, so our fingers are still operating on the both nostrils. So inhaling through left and exhaling through right. That's Chandra Vedi, right?
Yeah. Yes. Actually, what happens is you can just slightly release. I think here that will become too. So when you are, if you are here, what happens is you keep your fingers here. You just operate them between these two. So you are going left, close the left, open the right. Every time you will not release the hands. No? So that is why you keep the fingers there. You just move the mechanism is between the thumb and the ring finger. You just move the fingers as you want to open and close, depending on which nostril is active at that time and which finger you're using.
And you said while inhaling, we are still pressing the left nostril a little bit. No.
Yes, the reason why we are doing that, it's not necessary to do that all the time. It is one of the ways that you can do it is because whenever you create an obstruction slightly, you have to use a little bit more force and the blockages are easier to open. So it is generally done that for that purpose, but it is not necessary. You can do without keeping the nostril half open also. You can keep the nostril fully open. You can even do this.
Okay.
And you can also do with this.
So, but exhaling, we
It is
don't
one
need
of the,
to do that. But exhaling, we
no,
don't.
exhaling also, both. But again, you can use variations. You can use it only in inhale, only in exhale, or inhale and exhale both, or you don't need to use the half closing mechanism. It is it is one of the options I gave.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And one more thing, like with some sessions I have missed. So like I was looking for in YouTube channel, there were no recorded sessions for S3. I have seen only for
No, there is,
S1.
we have uploaded the last session. That was the first one actually. Today is the
Okay.
second session of ES3. So you should be able to find it on YouTube. It has already been uploaded.
But not the previous ones, right? Yet.
No, in ES3, this is the second one. So the first one has been.
Okay. So the last week's sessions were not uploaded.
They are already uploaded. You should be able to find it.
Just give me 1 second. I'll share the link in the chat box while you
Okay.
continue. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. Hello from Spain in Europe.
Hello.
Thank you for
Wonderful.
the class.
You're welcome.
I want to ask you about the Ujjayi, breathing in and breathing out.
Yes.
I thought this exercise we have to breathe in inhalation and exhalation through the mouth.
No.
I thought this
No.
is important. The to hear in the air like an ocean sound.
Yes. Yes. It is very often in the West. It is very often called the ocean breath, and in fact, lot of other forms of I think Pilates uses some form of it, but they use the mouth. In the classical Ujjayi, we are not using the mouth actually. We are using the throat. The mouth is closed. We are not using the mouth, so we are going. However, initially, as you are learning this, and if you are finding it difficult with the mouth closed, if you want to try it with your mouth open, you can. It is not forbidden. However, it's a different experience. So you can do. You will find actually the exhale might be easier with the mouth. So as an initial step, till you are comfortable with the throat sound and the throat breathing, you can use the mouth. But eventually you want to be able to do it with the mouth closed.
Okay.
Does that help, Siegfried?
Yes, the most important is to feel the friction in the glottis, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes,
Okay.
yes. And the sound actually indicates the friction to you because the sound can become subtle also. It can be very, very soft sound. Eventually, when you become very proficient at the breathing, the sound is almost not negligible, but it is still there. It is the friction which creates the sound. So
But
it is as opposed to like doing, so you're going. Now I can also make it very soft. I can also make it very loud. So you can also vary that. depending on if as time goes by, when your practice becomes more subtle, the breath becomes more subtle, then you can, automatically the sound will also become.
Okay. And this awareness in the glottis is only for the Ujjayi exercise. It's only for this exercise. We have to keep this awareness in the glottis as much as possible in our ordinary life.
No, not really. In fact, if you practice this well enough, sometimes you might realize you are doing it even without being aware of that. Because a lot is to do with, practice. So initially, yes, you will have to keep the awareness here because that is the part we are using to create the sound. But with practice, you will find that maybe you will not even be aware. You will just be aware of the sound and your breath will become slower and longer and it will be more relaxed. So you might actually not be aware of the throat.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anybody else?
No, there are no more questions. So I think we can end another beautiful practical session. So thank you everyone for joining in.
Us. Yeah.
Yes, and thank you, Monica Di, for leading us through such a beautiful session. Tomorrow again, we'll continue the theory session on the cardiovascular system. And we end with a moment of silence. Thank you once again, everyone.